and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we meet the third generation of the Perillo family and owner of Perillo Tours. But first, the Hoboken Community Center is expanding. The nonprofit has been offering space, essential products, and food for years, but finally received a big grant which will allow building for a larger facility and perishable food storage. HCC Secretary Toni Tomarazzo is here to tell us more. Toni, welcome to the show.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, congratulations on your expansion. Tell us all about Hoboken Community Center.
Well, thanks, Lisa. Hoboken Community Center is the successor custodian to the North Hudson YMCA. We're the oldest public service agency in Hoboken, and we've been providing social services, including housing, affordable housing, for over 125 years in our city. During COVID, there was a crisis in Hoboken, just like throughout our entire world. And we recognized as a board of directors of our nonprofit that we needed to do something to provide access to food for the 96 low-income single men that live in our facility. We started that back in February of 2020. And by March, we opened a full-blown pantry that started to serve any Hoboken or Hudson County resident in need that was having problems accessing food during COVID. We thought this would last, a couple of weeks, couple of months. What did we know? And it turns out that there was a real need for access to nutritious food for many members of our North Hudson and Hoboken community. And we've been running this pantry since 2020. We now have 3,600 registered families that we feed every month in order to provide them access. It became pretty untenable because we were using space that was really not outfitted appropriately for a service mission that we hadn't really planned on being in. We were very fortunate that this past year we were awarded a very large grant through the County of Hudson, which is providing us with the funds to be able to build a state-of-the-art, brand new client choice pantry in the city of Hoboken. And thanks to the County of Hudson, and of course the city of Hoboken, which has been a stellar supporter of everything that we've been doing from the day one, we're about ready to demolish the existing facility and start building a 5,000 square foot first floor pantry that will provide client choice access to any resident of New Jersey, but mostly Hoboken and Northern Hudson County that needs it.
What a story. Toni, I cannot believe, first of all, we're going on year 5 of the COVID talk, and how you've been willing and able to grow this to the point that you have. It's also very sad because you've been able to grow it because people are still in need, and it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing year over year about an 18% increase in the number of residents that are seeking assistance. And it is amazing because when you think of Hudson County or particularly Hoboken, you think, how is it possible that a city on the Gold Coast of New Jersey has a need that great? And I assure you that it is, and it's growing thanks to a number of different circumstances, including inflation, supply, increasing grocery prices. It really is amazing. But Lisa, what the really amazing part of this story is how it's possible for a facility like this to actually exist. And it's certainly partly because of the governmental grants that we've been so fortunate to get. But the real story are the volunteers and the local folks who have supported us with both finances and their time. We have over 220 volunteers who are signed up and who regularly work shifts of 2 to 3 hours doing things like unloading box trucks filled with heavy cases of food, to packing bags, to delivering food to those in need, to providing marketing and administrative help. These are individuals who, on their own, during COVID and even now, had to struggle to provide for themselves and their families. But they made the time to come out and serve their neighbors. And they continue to do it today. When I go to the pantry and I look around at what's happening, what I really see are these groups of absolute angels who have given of themselves to make Hoboken and our community a better place. And it would absolutely not be possible without the money and the support that we see from just our local neighbors who have outpoured all of this help.
Well, you speak so passionately, and I could tell how much you care. So, you being at the forefront of this only helps the cause.
It's really been my privilege, Lisa. People ask me sometimes in a very misguided way, why do I do what I do? And my answer always is, I don't understand that question. Of course, we should all do whatever it is that's put in front of us with the opportunity to do that. And for me, Lisa, it's like when you adopt a dog, and people say you adopted that dog, and some people say no, he adopted me. Maybe I had something to do with sparking the flame to get the pantry going, but I assure you that this pantry has done more for me than I could ever do for it.
What has it done for you?
When in 2020, I was and still am a stage 4 cancer patient, undergoing treatment and really fighting not just for my life, but to understand what my new normal was. When you have a disease as demonstratively disabling as cancer, you really have to rethink or kind of recertify what your life is going to look like. I was very successful, fortunate attorney working in a career in a field that I just loved, and that had to stop. And I was searching, just like many people, with what would I do going forward? How could I continue to have a sense of purpose? And out of that period of time where it was really very dark, this opportunity and the people around me that made this opportunity possible, the board members at the Hoboken Community Center, the members of the senior leadership team now that run the pantry, they're the real heroes here. They're the ones that helped me see that there was going to be purpose. And boy, was there. Because every other Friday, when we hand food out, and I have the privilege of watching the individuals whose lives all of these people are touching, it reminds me that not only do I have purpose, but we all have purpose together.
Wow, but you were going through and still are going through something so daunting, and it's a time where people would look inward to cure themselves, but it sounds like you are curing yourself by helping others, and there's nothing more beautiful than that.
Or they're helping me. That's how I look at it.
Well, how can our viewers help you? How can they get involved to support Hoboken Community Center by donating goods and money and just getting involved?
All of the above. We need, I like to think of the old Patchwork Family, a show from when I was a kid. It used to say we need sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles and cousins. We need everybody, and we need everything. We need money. We need volunteers. We always need volunteers, because volunteers bring with them new ideas and they help make us better. And so we ask everybody that has the time to please come and participate. We also need people that work for corporations that may have grant opportunities to get in touch with us. And please let us know, what are those opportunities that we might be able to go after? Maybe you have some in-kind donations. Lisa, every year, in addition to handing out food, we do a holiday market. We typically serve between 400 and 500 people on a Saturday, when we invite the members of the community to come and pick out gifts that they can wrap and put under their holiday tree for not just their children, but for each other, so that grandma has a toaster, or maybe grandpa gets a scarf. And we have this holiday event. We have carolers and we have hot chocolate, and it's a community affair. We need product. When you're thinking about serving 500 families, we need thousands of gifts. If you work for a company that might be able to donate these gifts, please get in touch with us and let us know, because these in-kind donations will be put to use in a million different ways. Of course, we need your cash donations, And we run a variety of different events every year. Every June, we have Taste of Hoboken. We ask you to come and participate. You can find all of this information out on our website, which is HOBOKENCC.org.
Toni, what if you are watching this right now and you are a Hudson County family in need? How can they get in touch with you?
We have enough for everyone. Food, we have hygiene items, diapers, period products. If you're in need, please contact us. Go to our website, HobokenCC.org. The dates and times of our distributions are available, and our email address is there. If you have any questions, you can reach us at pantry@HobokenCC.com, and we'll respond within 12 hours, and we will get you anything that we can to help you.
Toni, we are deep in season 3 of Your New Jersey, and I have to say you are one of my favorite interviews that we've ever done on here. I am just so blown away by you, your mission, and your drive to helping so many in need. Thank you so much for coming on here today.
Thank you, Lisa. I'll see you on the volunteer line.
Yes. Oh, I would love to get us and the crew involved because especially as we near the holidays, it's more important than ever to get involved. And like you said, the food prices are higher than ever and a lot of people are struggling out there.
Absolutely. By the way, we do a lot of corporate events. So if there are corporations that are looking for opportunities to volunteer together, we've had American Express, Walmart, Hershey's, a variety of large and smaller companies. They come in as a team building exercise. They work together and really accomplish a great deal for us. So I can say is come one, come all. I'll promise you, you'll feel great when you leave. And you'll even have a little bit of fun because we have a lot of fun as well.
It sounds like it. Toni, thank you so much.
Thank you.
With its rich culture and deep traditions, it's no surprise that Italy is a top travel destination for New Jersey residents. Steve Perillo, third-generation owner of Perillo Tours and a proud Bergen County resident, joins us now to share how his family crafts immersive experience for Garden State travelers. Steve, welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you, Lisa Marie.
As a third-generation business owner, please tell us about the love not only you, but your father and grandfather had for sharing their culture with New Jersey.
This job has been unbelievable because it turned out, I don't know, luckily or not, that Italy is the number one vacation destination in Europe for Americans, and it has been for decades. And so my grandfather started this not knowing, but it turned into this American love affair for Italy.
Talk to us about how your grandfather came here from Italy and how he established such an iconic brand.
He came over in 1926 from Naples, and we have the letters. He comes first in 26, and my grandmother's writing to him, when are you going to send for the rest of the family? Because they like to get set up in New York first. And it took him 2 years to send for them. And then they started around 28. That's when my father was born. And my grandfather started Perillo Tours right at the end of World War II on May 1st, 1945 in the Bronx. And 30 years later, we ended up in New Jersey, and we're celebrating our 80th anniversary next year.
At that time, when your grandfather started the company, was travel to Italy a thing? I mean, they were just coming off a war, right? So how did he have the foresight to know that it was going to become the top destination really on the planet?
Yeah, these ethnic neighborhoods, whenever you see like a Dominican Republic neighborhood, or it could be an Irish neighborhood, this is traditionally from the last century. There were travel bureaus would grow up around these neighborhoods because the people wanted to return to their homeland and they wanted their relatives to visit them in the States. Also, at the end of the war, there was a lot of problems with property and immigration because some relatives left and fled the war. So there was a lot of disputes about that's what happened in my family over property. And then immigration and steamship passage. It was the only way to get to Italy or to come to the States was via steamship at that time. So that's how we got into the travel business. Uh, just like any ethnic neighborhood, you need a travel service, and that's how we started until we became travel only, and then Italy only, and now we've expanded outside of Italy. But that's how. And my father really carried the ball to make us a national company.
Talk about how your father took things to the next level.
He took a risk. That's what you have to do. You've got to take a chance, which means you got to borrow money. And he chartered a 747 from Pan Am in 1976 and filled it with an air land package to Italy. 14 days, all meals for $799, including airfare. So that was an explosion of business. It was the right guy, the right place, the right time. Uh, there's some technical reasons because in those days you couldn't combine an airfare with a land tour. Don't ask me why. But then during the Carter administration, they changed that law so you could combine airfare and a land tour. And I think the second year, my father sold 40,000 people. Could you imagine? And this is what happens. I'm still trying to recreate this event in my own generation, doing things, but it was such a remarkable time, and it put us on the map. And we've been going ever since.
In a time where you can be your own travel agent thanks to social media and all these apps, why do people still need a company like Perillo Tours?
The number one reason is it's usually cheaper to go through a professional, and the main thing is when something goes wrong. And when you're traveling, you're asking for things to go wrong. You know, with your luggage, the hotel room. There's no pickup at the airport when you land. Things are going to go wrong. But if you have someone on your side, we correct it instantly. If you're alone on your own, you're really stuck. There's another reason because Italy is so pretty popular. Last year, 23 was the biggest year they ever had. It was our biggest year in 80 years. And next year is, we call it a holy year, the Jubilee year, every 25 years. So Italy is going to be really busy, especially in May and September. So to get space, like you want to go to Amalfi, you can't just call a hotel in Amalfi. There's no space. There's no space. So tour operators like us, that's part of the problem with that. We're holding a lot of the space and we're reselling it. So you come to us, we have space because we pre-bought it last year. So there's a million reasons to use a professional company like Perillo Tours to travel with. And then we have the tours. If you like group tours, and everyone should, whether you know it or not, because they're so easy and so cost effective, then you don't have to think. You call us or you call your travel agent, you book the trip, and we take care of your entire trip from there. It's so easy, especially for a first-time traveler.
Steve, as I mentioned at the top of this segment, you are a proud Bergen County resident and operate your business out of here. What needs does the New Jersey traveler have?
New Jersey is our second biggest state. And the key thing about travel is your airport. That's what makes things work. You don't want to, if you don't have to drive to Kennedy, you don't want to drive to Kennedy. And that's the way we grew up. Kennedy was the only game in town if you wanted to go to Europe. But around the 80s, it really started to explode with Delta, American, United. So Newark I consider it a fantastic airport. I don't know if anyone complains about Newark, but I've been to millions of airports, and it's our best way to travel from. You can even fly Lufthansa to Frankfurt. You save money if you stop off, especially an ethnic airline, a national airline like Aer Lingus in Ireland, or Air France in France, or Lufthansa in Germany. If you fly from Newark to Dublin and Dublin to Venice, it'll be cheaper, a lot cheaper than a direct flight from Newark directly to Venice. Anyway, New Jersey is a great place to fly out of because you don't have the Van Wyck. You don't have the Van Wyck to deal with.
Well, here you have the Turnpike and the Parkway, but yes, I agree. You said that 2023 was your most popular year. What areas of Italy did the New Jersey traveler gravitate towards? Was it Amalfi? Was it Venice? All those are fabulous, by the way.
Yeah, you got to watch these places with the famous names, Lisa Marie. Like Amalfi has become so famous, and there's other towns, right down the coast like Minori, Maiori, Sorrento, even Naples itself, which are amazing places. But Amalfi is so famous, but there's so few hotel rooms in this place. Uh, so people want to go to the big places, which is Rome, Florence, and Venice, and they should. As a first-time visitor, there's no replacement for going to Rome. Rome is literally eternal. To plumb the depths of Rome, you would have to be there for 10 years because it's 3,000 years old, and you can see that old history, on every street corner. And then Florence is the Renaissance city. That's where it took human civilization from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance. And Venice is just unbelievable. And the canals are cleaned up. It just gets a little crowded if you go at the peak time. So I would go to Rome, Florence, and Venice, and that's where New Jerseyans want to go.
You are celebrating 80 years of success. What other ways do you plan on growing Perillo Tours?
We're going to new destinations, taking everything we learned in Italy over these years. And we started with Greece, and everyone's in love with the Aegean Sea, the islands in the Aegean Sea, which is Santorini, Mykonos, Crete. And then there's Athens, and then there's the ancient cities of Delphi and Meteora and Olympia. It's like pre-Roman Empire Greece. It's very worthwhile seeing, and the islands are gorgeous. We're going to Spain as well, and Portugal, and Hawaii. We've been going to Hawaii for many years with an all-inclusive package because Hawaii's tricky. It's far away. If you want to go from island to island, you have to get inter-island airfare. The hotels are costly, so you could use. We can help you with Hawaii. So that's what we're doing.
And finally, what fuels you as a third generation owner to keep this business humming and growing year after year?
Yeah, it's challenging. It feels like if you have a going business, you just go on cruise control, but you don't because the world changes around you, especially these days. When the internet started, Lisa Marie, in like 2000, 2002, we didn't know what was going to happen. It disrupted the entire industry. But it turns out, and the travel agents, most of them, half of them went out of business, but they're starting to come back because the internet is such a giant, mega place. You can get lost there. So and there's so many claims being made. So we had to deal with that, and then the airlines become independent, and they want to work directly with the public. So there's always changes and challenges, and that's what's enjoyable. But now we have a family of Perillo followers. We have this Facebook page with 25,000 followers, and we talk to them every day. It's like a Perillo family. It really is. And when you travel with us, it's not you're not buying from a regular corporation. You're buying from my family. You really are.
Yeah. Well, Steve, this was really special. I always enjoy a conversation about Italy, and it's nice to see the commercials come to life. Your voice is so iconic in this area, so it's really great to be joined by you. Where can people find out more about Perillo Tours and to book a vacation?
You could find us at perillotours.com, obviously, and then we work with all the travel agents in the area, and they can be very helpful. And that's how you do it. We make it easy. We're all Italy experts here, everyone.
Steve, thank you so much for coming on here today, and hopefully we can do this again in Italy.
Same here. Thank you, Lisa Marie.
We are so happy to announce that your New Jersey was nominated twice in the Community Service category of the New York Chapter Emmy Awards. The first nomination, Your New Jersey in the Community, was a compilation of segments, including our time with RWJ Barnabas Health, Trinitas Regional Medical Center's Peace of Mind event, the Tom Coughlin J Fund Foundation Champions for Children Gala, the Halos for Angels Love is in the Air Gala, and Let's Talk Women's Health and Wellness at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. Our other nomination was our behind-the-scenes look at the build-out of the New Jersey Hall of Fame's Learning and Entertainment Center located inside the American Dream Mall. Also in that episode, we spoke with the New Jersey Hall of Fame's 2023 inductees, which included Sopranos creator David Chase, New York Giants legend Tiki Barber, and many others. Thank you to our extremely talented crew members and loyal viewers that helped make Your New Jersey an Emmy-nominated television show. The winners will be announced later this fall. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.